express greetings in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. We wish to convey an important message to the nation today in the wake of the recent occurrences of political violence in some parts of our country, now leading to the loss of lives. Our message today is underpinned by an abiding prayer and aspiration for our beloved nation, as contained in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. And I quote, "Violence will disappear from your land. The desolation and destruction of war will end. Salvation will surround you like city walls, and praise will be on the lips of all who enter there." This is our prayer for Zambia as we share these concerns and the things that we are raising. First of all, we wish to turn our attention to the violence and the regrettable loss of lives. The Pentecostal Assemblies of God Zambia Council of Bishops wishes to express serious concern over the reported violence experienced in some parts of our country during the most recent times of the campaigns that are ongoing. In the past few weeks, we have noted with sadness the reported incidences of violence in Ikelenge, Chibombo, and probably the most grievous of all is the reported violence that has led to the loss of 2 lives in Kanyama. This scenario disturbs the treasured peace and tranquil of our country, and we wish to condemn this behavior in the strongest terms possible. Let me take time for us to look back. In 1991, at the dawn of the multi-party democracy re-entrance, we chose to coexist peacefully within the multiplicity of political parties. We later saw the emergence of more and more political parties that campaigned and solicited for votes from the electorates freely and peacefully. The hallmark of democracy is to allow the championing of ideas and political ideologies in a free and fair atmosphere as citizens participate in given electoral processes that enable them to choose leaders to govern them as per mandate provided in applicable laws of the land. What we seem to be experiencing now, beloved, is utterly undesirable, and it threatens our very existence as a unitary state, which really is supposed to coexist and celebrate its unity in diversity. And so, as we look at what has happened, the instances of reported tribal remarks and are contrary to our cherished national motto of one Zambia, one nation. In addition, we wish to condemn particularly the violence that has occurred all over in this particular case. And we believe that this is very, very critical. And as we deal with this most critical matter that we have just highlighted and the condemnation that we have issued, which we'd like to put very strongly on record, we also wish to address ourselves to the following matters. First, political intolerance. We believe that political intolerance is to be indicated as completely unacceptable, because we believe that as we have seen it, it also manifests itself through an apparent arrangement where others may not be receiving fair treatment. Secondly, we also want to specifically address what we are considering the semblance of unfair treatment. In our view, there ought to be no semblance whatsoever of unfair treatment of any political player. For instance, while we may not be privy to the details that led to a rather unfortunate incident involving one of the opposition political leaders that happened to go to Chipata and landed at Chipata Airport, we believe that care must be taken, that no political player begins to feel that they are unduly targeted by authorities in any measure or any fashion. We issue this caution particularly to the Zambia police. In conclusion of this very short address that we are directing to the nation, we wish to re-emphasize that violence and disharmony does not just happen. We believe it has its genesis in careless statements, deliberate confrontations, and this is in view of the fact that some of our leaders may end up being careless as not to have the peace of the nation at heart. And if such is the case, it is highly regrettable. So we wish to caution that people must be showing whatever they have in terms of a desire to serve the nation by showing that they have a heart for peace. We are therefore passionately appealing to political leaders to have to exercise, let's put it that way, maximum restraint and avoid creating volatile situations that may lead to disastrous mayhem, and which is partially what we seem to be experiencing just now. We also believe that it was expected that after signing the peace accord at the Mulungushi Conference Center, we expected every political leader and stakeholder, for that matter, to begin to take that message of peace down to the lower levels, the lower organs, so that what has been signed for can truly be actualized and practicalized. But that's not what we are seeing right now. The fact that cadres are engaged in these pockets of violence means that we have not succeeded in taking this message down to the lower ranks and the lower levels. That leads us then to address one more time, as we have done many other times before, the matter of cadre management. Right now, we have become aware of what are being considered groups that are camping in specific locations. They camp, and probably this is where they are basing their arrangements for door-to-door campaigns. Well, it may be understood logistically that people need to gather somewhere and do whatever they need to do. We believe that politicians must not take advantage of the poverty of our young people, whom we know they are paying money. They're giving them all kinds of items to try and keep them loyal so they can do the runs that need to be done on the ground. We believe that our young people must not be used as instruments of violence. This must stop. We are also aware that these young people are not only funded, but they are invited by political leaders to do many other errands. And we call upon you as political leaders, as you hear us. We know you attend our churches on Sundays or on Saturdays or any other days. But if the instructions we give in our churches and parishes are important to you, we expect you to begin to make sure that the cadres, the runners, those who patronize you and are carriers of your messages must take that message of peace to each other. Then we will know that you were serious and you meant well when you signed the peace accord. As you do the politicking and campaigning, there is no need to use terror and violence. We further advise, as we do this, that you consider yourselves as people of peace. So advise the cadres not to provoke police by daring them. And some of you young people as cadres who are listening to us, if you consider yourself that, we advise you to use civil means to negotiate and discuss specific situations of difference. We know that there are conflict resolution committees that are set up in the various locations where these activities are taking place. So to law enforcers and security agencies, we appeal to you, as we know you are hardworking in your tasks, particularly the Zambia police, that you ensure that you deal with these incidences firmly and fairly, and that you handle these political situations that now, in our view, threaten our peace, the peace of our beloved nation. May we use this opportunity to commend Zambia police for acting very swiftly in the Kanyama incidents. This is commendable. It goes without saying that we need a peaceful Zambia before, during, and after elections. We therefore demand that political leaders continue to condemn violence and ensure that they restrain their cadres. Once again, we think that we must do less talking and more acting so that this message reaches the people that it is intended to reach. We cannot close this message without commending the Electoral Commission of Zambia for displaying transparency in the processes that have been undertaken in the past few weeks, as the printing of ballots was done in Dubai, and the fact that they are now safely delivered here in the country, and now they're going to be taken to the various locations. Keep it up, ECZ. We're praying for you and trusting that this election will continue to be managed in the most professional manner as possible, because this assures confidence to the people. And for the citizens out there, we encourage you to get out on the 12th of August. Do not be intimidated, do not fear. It's your role, it's your vote, it's your right, it's your responsibility to participate in electing the leaders that you have probably already chosen in your heart. May God continue to bless the nation of Zambia. May He continue to sustain us with peace. We would like to close with that very prayer that we began with. Violence will disappear from the land. The desolation and destruction of war will end. Salvation will surround you, Zambia, and praise will be on the lips of all those who enter here. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. I thank you.